crab tenacious thou doth crawl in oceans wide and deep, drawn by the tides and the bright moon's call, while the world is lost in sleep. Mother holding, arms enfolding, the bright-eyed babe new-born, may we uphold thy graciousness when from thy body torn. Shielding, caring, ever bearing without a word or plea, throughout the world's long history, our praises go to thee. Through thee souls catch the gift of life, a never-ending birth. O Goddess Moon, we pray to thee for mothers here on earth. In ancient rites, on lonely hills or in the forest dark, we praise the Magna Mater, her tree and sacred bark. Along the pathway glittering, upon the ocean's breast, we hope for rest and rebirth, with the souls we love the best. The Rite of Cancer. When the sun has entered the sign of Cancer, proceed to your sacred site. Ideally, this rite should be performed exactly on the summer solstice. This is to be your first encounter with a cardinal water sign. You must take with you a written declamation of your highest ideals and any aspirations begun at the vernal equinox. Place the papers in a small receptacle and put it somewhere in your clothing. You need to bring a gift for the Moon Mother, the ruler of this sign. A bouquet made from 9 different flowers and herbs is an ideal offering for her, as 9 is the number of the moon. You will need a small vase for the bouquet and should also bring with you some water from a running brook or river and some salt. When you reach your destination, place the vase of flowers in the center of the circle. They may be taken home at the end of the rite. After all, it is the intent behind the action that is important. Announce your presence in a way you think fit. Then stand with the flowers and say, I am here to learn the attributes of compassion and understanding, which bind me to all souls born of the Moon Mother. Gracious Goddess, show me the way to that abiding inner tranquility, which endures through any hardships of physical life. Now, with the special spring water, sprinkle the circle as follows. Be this circle blessed by the mysterious element of water through which all life is born on earth. Holiest receiver of the precious seed, protect this sacred place. Stand centrally, raise your arms and declaim. Great Mother of all, comfort me in my quest and succor me through any trials. You who are the essence of maternal love and the source of all life, watch over me and guide me. Now inscribe the glyph of Cancer by pouring the salt upon the ground. The top line is made just north of the center of the circle, the bottom line just south of the center, so that it encloses you and the flowers within it. Read the written declamation aloud and meditate upon the task ahead. Then make yourself comfortable and begin the visualization. you open your inner eyes to find that you are in a lovely garden which is surrounded by a high stone wall. This is the magic garden in which the joys of summer eternally abound. The atmosphere is one of great peace. A chorus of birdsong fills the air, and small animals peep from the foliage, their bright eyes curious, yet unafraid. There are flowers of every description and colour, and their perfume is almost overpowering. Amid the verdant grass, a quiet pool reflects the brightness of the sun, which shines directly overhead. Gleaming white water lilies float on the smooth surface, which is occasionally disturbed by a leaping frog or toad. The garden gives forth an ambience of tranquillity, which permeates to the very depths of your soul. The emotions that arise have an appreciative quality, making you feel that you know this place in the here and now. The magic garden has become part of your experience, and you may capture it again whenever you will. As you walk around, touching the flowers and stroking the animals, you wonder if such a garden exists in the material world. It did once, when time was young and the planet unpolluted by selfish desires. But as you can see, it has taken order and discipline to establish such a garden. It has been planned and brought into being by loving thoughts and careful work. In other words, it has been constructed and has not come into being accidentally. And so it is with the universe. It has been carefully planned and is in harmony with itself. The garden draws you to it, and you would be happy to stay there indefinitely. But you realize that it is growing dark and a little chill. The sun has gone down, the flowers have closed their petals, and the animals are asleep. Some glowworms attract your attention. They are busy signalling to each other near a bush which grows next to the wall. You walk over to them and discover a small door hidden behind the leaves. Opening it, you find it leads to a wide expanse of seashore. The full moon has just risen and sits on the horizon, her light making a shining pathway on the surface of the dark sea. A huge crab scuttles sideways on the gleaming white sand, and you follow it to the water's edge. It disappears beneath the foam-flecked waves, and suddenly you feel like dancing to express the feelings evoked by this enchanting scene. Your bare feet weave a pattern on the sand, and you sing softly to yourself. Then, a little out of breath, you sit down and gaze at the great orb of the moon. There is something out there, a blob of blackness on the glittering sea path. It comes nearer, and you realize that it is a black boat with someone standing in the prow. Automatically, you stand up too and await its arrival on the shore. Now you can see that the boat is shaped like a crescent moon. It stands a little way off the shore, and the dark-robed figure beckons to you. The water swirls around your legs as you pull yourself over the side and sit down on the seat facing the figure at the prow. The boat is apparently self-propelled as it moves off immediately, gliding smoothly over the sea. The figure is silent and does not move. Its head is covered by a dark veil, and for some reason you have a strong impression that you know this being intimately. A feeling of coming home envelops you, and sudden glad tears sting your eyes. The light of the moon has dimmed. It now hangs above the ocean and has changed to a thin, waning crescent. I am the Great Mother, and this is my moonboat. I am come as Nuah in my ark of 1,000 years to succor you in your quest. The voice is melodic, yet with a curious metallic ring to it, and it seems to issue from inside your head. A silver light emanates from the goddess and envelops her in the shape of the vesica Pisces, the feminine oval. I have spoken to you in the aspect of physical love, and now I am come as mother. You are never alone. There is a unity in the universe, and it is this oneness of which you must become aware. The apparent diversity is but an expression of the ultimate, that which makes for life. You must look behind the mask of the manifest to find the reality. All else is impermanent. The divine spark dwells in all things, but in some species it sleeps or is the overlord of a group, as in a hive of bees. The spark is shared between them, and each bee is only whole when it is a part of the swarm. With animals also, the herd share a group soul, but once an animal is separated, it lives to itself, and the spark within is fed by thought and reason, and initiates a separate existence of its own. In humans, each soul gathers experience, as a bee gathers honey, though often not so sweet. In most humans, the spark sleeps through many lives until realization dawns. That awakening has come for you. From the dark folds of her robe, the goddess holds out a gleaming silver goblet encrusted with precious stones. It is surrounded by an aura of violet light, which pulsates and emits a sweet, low note. Drink of the cup of immortality, the cup of Soma, brewed from the moon tree. The honey of the moon brings you in touch with that which is termed soul, that which is free, indestructible, and beyond all pairs of opposites. You take or do not take the cup. It is entirely a matter of choice. To drink is to receive that special initiation of the goddess that bestows a wider, more impersonal vision of the feminine principle. It demands a certain subjugation of self to that all-pervading power. It also gives the ability to transcend death and the ability to create through the mens or mind, the fruitful inspiration. At this time, you may speak to the goddess of anything that is troubling you or for which you cannot discover a solution. The goddess may even have a special message for you. At last the goddess opens her arms, and the dark robe is caught by the wind and envelops you within its folds. Remember, you are never alone. I love you, and I am with you always. The words tremble on the edge of your mind as you are carried away from the sea and back to the now familiar magic garden. The dawn chorus is in full song, and the first rays of the sun illuminate the tops of the trees. With a dormouse curled up close by, you settle down in the grass and close your eyes. When you open them, you are once more within your circle. Take time to accustom yourself to your surroundings. Then stretch your limbs and partake of a little nourishment in the form of bread and water. Before leaving, give thanks for the mother's help and bury a small silver-coloured coin as a token of fealty. A silver sixpence or a dime would be ideal.